Good afternoon. For the CME, this is Chris Robinson with your Traders Exclusive comment today, Wednesday the 22nd. Well, some really good action to talk about in the livestock as well as the grains. So let's start with the livestock. Big news out, the exports have been banned from Brazil due to the fact that they were selling meat that had passed its prime. They had mislabeled meat, which had already turned as being as a food grade. So that's caused a lot of countries to back off from wanting to import any beef from Brazil. It's turned that demand towards the U.S. So as I'm sitting here today, Wednesday, we've got one-year highs in the live cattle or fat cattle. You've got contract high and multi-month highs in feeder cattle. So very supportive. You also have a good confluence because since about November, December, the managed money has been long cattle. So you've got those two positive things pushing on prices, making them go higher. So it's a really good day for a producer or a speculator. If you're long, look to take profits or lock in profits. Certainly don't want to be short in this environment unless you've got an exit plan. Moving over to also the other thing I want to talk about was cotton. Cotton, if you take a look at cotton, that's a strange trade. They call it the widowmaker. But again, you've got the managed money long over 110,000 contracts. That doesn't sound like a lot, but that pencils out to over half the crop. So they are also long that, and we're getting fresh multi-month highs and contract highs in cotton. So again, you've got those two things. Those are big positives in the commodity market. Switching over to what's possibly negative, you got to talk about the grains. We are 6 days away from the USDA planning report on the 31st. What's happened since the last time I talked to you? Well, the funds had been long about 80,000 contracts of corn. They flipped and got short about 23,000 contracts of corn because there was no follow through after we made pretty good highs. That's pushed us lower. We're about 2 cents to 5 cents away from challenging the lows prices for the year in corn. It's also got to take producers a second thought because with new crop corn having been at $4.04, $4, now to watch it be trading here around $3.83, $3.82, it may be a different scenario as to whether or not they decide to plant corn. And once April starts around, we'll see exactly when the planters get rolling. So that's really big, something to focus on. That switch in money from the funds being long corn to short corn, something you got to watch. Switching over to wheat. Wheat, they had cut their shorts to about 40,000. However, because we had no follow through, they turned around and they sold more. They're probably short over 100,000 contracts of Chicago wheat right now. So that's their big short bet. The balancing out on the long side is they are still long about 100,000 contracts of soybeans. However, that's down from being long about 140,000. So they've cut back their long bet in soybeans. I can't stress it enough. What comes out on the March 31st report is going to be very, very important to price discovery for not only new crop corn and beans, but also the demand for the stuff that's already out there and unpriced. A lot of farmers are sitting on a lot of corn from last year. That's one negative thing. Everybody knows it. The end users all know it. So it's kind of a game of chicken here moving forward to see what's going to happen with all that supply. Of course, it's always darkest before the dawn, so there's no real it makes no real sense to get too bearish here as we're sitting at these multi-month lows. If you're a producer, make sure that you're not doing something which would preclude you from catching a rally later on in the year. If you're a speculator or just somebody that's trying to catch the next 15 or 20 cent move, these types of market reports give you a fixed point in time where you can really set up a type of trade and try and catch that move. So that's about it. Those are the three things I'll be looking at here as we look towards the end of March. This is Chris Robinson. If you're looking for help with your hedging or your trading, give me a phone call. You can find me on the web. Also, this Friday, if you can tune in to Iowa Public Television, I'm going to be a guest on Market to Market there. Hope you tune in and watch.